All right, it is Monday, July 14th, 2025, and let's go ahead and break down the crypto market. But quick, let's do a quick disclaimer and we will get rocking. All right, hopefully you guys are doing amazing this Monday. A lot of crazy, cool stuff happening in the crypto space. But we're going to dive into the charts here and start to look at what could be brewing in the crypto space. So the first thing I want us to look at is the total crypto market. So what we are seeing here is basically the market cycle from the prior all-time high, which is back here in December 2024. So basically from November to December was the last real bullish push for the crypto market. Made a all-time high around, let's see here, 3.73 trillion and was consolidating for the last about 210 days. Now, interestingly, we are seeing this big cup recovery formation, and the total crypto market looks to be probing above its prior all-time high. Excuse me. And if this is indeed a breakout, what I sometimes like to do and what traders, investors like to do is make what's called a measured move from the bottom of the consolidation pattern to the top of the consolidation pattern. So this will be the base of the cup to the neckline. If we duplicate that, we actually get this projected equal measured move to around 2-ish, $5.15 trillion. Okay, so that could be pretty substantial if the market is going to indeed push up that high. That would be about a 38% move to the upside. And the crazy thing is you might say, all right, what are the odds that's going to happen? And that's true. What are the odds that that's going to happen? But let's go back to the prior market cycle here. And let's go ahead and mark up our prior market cycle high. Okay, prior market cycle high. Let's go ahead and look at our parabolic recovery. Okay, we can draw that parabolic recovery to our heart's content. And let's do the same thing. Let's go ahead and make a equal measured move from the base to the neckline. And let's see how that panned out. How did this breakout pan out compared to that equal measured move? So we're going to stack this right on top. And what do you know? It is nearly identical, about exact, which is so crazy to see that technical analysis like this can pan out. There's a reason why people look at the charts. Is not all the time, but sometimes what happens in the past can happen in the future. These are called patterns, and a lot of technical analysis is pattern recognition and using pattern measurements to project potential targets. So if this same exact move happens, we could potentially see the market pushing up towards that $5 trillion mark. Let's just say $5 trillion to make it super easy. Make it simple. Let's see if we could see the market around that $5 trillion mark. Okay. Very, very, very cool and powerful stuff there for the total crypto market. Next up, let's look at Bitcoin. So I talked about this last time. There was this nice cup with handle breakout for Bitcoin. Equal measured move there would get the market to around $145,000. We are not exactly halfway there yet, but very close to about the halfway mark, I think, right? Between the two. And last time there was an equal measured move from the market cycle breakout. Actually, Bitcoin went even higher. So I wonder if we're going to see Bitcoin even higher, maybe 150K. Of course, we're going to have to take the moves day by day to see how the market is going to react. Now, here's a very, very crazy one that I really want us to pay attention to, which is the Bitcoin dominance chart. We have this uptrend for Bitcoin dominance, which is showing the percentage of the total crypto market that is Bitcoin. And if this is going up, it's showing that really Bitcoin is the leader. And if it is going down, a lot of times that means that altcoins are starting to have some sort of push to the upside. So we can see here, this is a trend line here back in December 2024. Same thing with the prior market cycle. It's basically been a Bitcoin show since then. And now we are actually seeing a little bit of signs of a breakdown from Bitcoin dominance. All the people who want to know when the alt season is coming are essentially looking for this to happen. Excuse me, got some Vietnamese coffee here. Keep me sharp. And now look at this. Let's go to last time we saw a big breakdown in Bitcoin dominance. That was over here in November to the beginning of December in 2024. And if we look at total 3, which is the altcoin market, let's look and see at how that actually looks here. November to early December. This was a very large move for the altcoin market. This was, let's see here, a 98% move for the altcoin markets, and that coincided with Bitcoin dominance falling down right here. Okay, so are we going to see Bitcoin dominance finally start to fall, and are we going to see altcoins starting to push up? Last thing we're going to do here, or second last thing, let's go ahead and look at the altcoin market. Let's look at total 3, which is the total crypto market excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, so that we can see more of the major altcoins. And we can take a look at how this market is behaving. So let's look on the monthly time frame right now. We do have the market in an uptrend indeed. So if we go down to the weekly, we actually are seeing a very powerful pattern being formed. This is a cup with handle, or maybe you can think of it as a double bottom. But we have our first formation here. That's our first low. And then we have our next higher low for the altcoin market. And the same thing with the total crypto market. We're actually seeing a potential base breakout of the altcoin market as well. Let me go ahead and get us a horizontal ray. So right there, altcoins are probing right above to potentially break out of this basing pattern. And let's go ahead and give ourselves some sort of equal measured move here. Boom. And look to where the market could be headed. So it looks like the market could be headed past the all-time highs of the altcoin market, which maybe we're going to get a double cycle from there. We will have to see once the altcoin market actually breaks all-time highs. Next thing we'll look at is Ethereum. Ethereum is doing something very similar here. Let me actually make this a little more pretty for all of us. So what I'd like to know is what's called a major inflection point. This is right here, $3,000. Let's just type it up. $3,000, clearly a very, very potent area in the market. This area for Ethereum, let's go ahead and grab our little circle tool here if we can find it. This area for Ethereum was an area of support for the market. And that area was actually broken to the downside very aggressively right here. And that actually pushed the market all the way down to its lows. So this area is where bulls were last in control in the market cycle. And we have the market starting to recover to this level. And Ethereum is actually pushing very aggressively at this key level here. Let's mark this in orange as an indecision point. So if we see Ethereum actually gaining a foothold above 3,000, maybe these bulls back here will keep that as the floor for this market. Otherwise, there is some extended market right here. Maybe the market's going to pull back a little bit. But just from the price action that we're looking at here, this actually looks pretty bullish for the market to potentially push up into. And of course, if we see ETH actually breaking out, that's going to be better boding for our altcoin market. And just like we were seeing, our Bitcoin dominance chart could potentially start breaking down if we see ETH starting to push up. So hopefully that was a helpful market breakdown for you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these. Let me know any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer any of those, and I'll see you guys in the next analysis.